Before we start, what is DoxBin, you might be asking? DoxBin is a form, but not your normal everyday form. But what's a dox?
Doxing derives from the word docs or documents, and it comes from the hacking culture of dropping documents. It's sharing someone's information online without their consent, and often with the malicious intent to attack them and undermine them. That could include, for example, sharing someone's home address, financial information, telephone number, intimate photos, private photos.
On DoxBin, there's more than 150,000 of these, but why do people make these, and what do they get out of it? Usually they want the person they dox swatted, but what is swatting? For the 0.01% who don't know and might be living under a rock, swatting is when someone makes a fake emergency call to the police claiming there's a dangerous situation at someone's home. That's really it, but these terms could also mean swatting to other people, like sending a large amount of pizzas to someone's house. Or if you get someone to throw a brick at someone's window, that's swatting. Okay, now we know what doxing means, but what is DoxBin's origin though? In 2014, DoxBin was a darknet site created by an anonymous 808chan user who was passionate about things like privacy, web development, and fraud. The 808chan user had a friend named Han that less than a year later he gave the site to. The previous owner of DoxBin, known by the name of Han, was some 4chan geek who couldn't run the site properly. And since it was in Han's hands at the time, he hadn't done anything useful rather than hosting an IRC chat server that got the entire site mold. Because of this, Han was getting into drama and he needed someone else to run the site for him. DoxBin had a pretty big active community while the site was falling down, but now Han decided to give the site to a guy named Nakash, which I guess you could say the site went uphill from here or that it went downhill. Well, you both would be correct. While the community was still growing and the site seemed to be okay, Nakash with his new business partner removed all the restrictions on DoxBin. They now openly allowed credit card fraud as well as making DoxBin a home for a new kind of community. Most of these guys were criminals, skids with giant egos, or something much worse. The tradition of doxing someone for no reason at all became the norm very fast, because before people used to only dox certain people so crimes weren't forgotten. On the 6th of November in 2014, the FBI took down 27 sites including Silk Road, Hydra, and of course DoxBin, in an operation named Operation Anonymous. Apparently they used a Tor 0 day found by the University of Carnegie Mellon to expose websites on the Tor network using a DDoS attack. The reason for the takedown, according to most sources, is because they simply could. The FBI saw the power they had and just went with the flow in shutting down all these other Tor services, and of course they took that opportunity. Not long after the takedown, Nakash simply retired in 2015 and basically said that no law enforcement has caught me yet, and probably never will. I have no plans of reviving DoxBin as it became a skid show for 12-year-olds. Intanger followed his retirement shortly after and went on to pursue his own DoxBin revival. For 3 whole years, pretty much everyone forgot about DoxBin. But in 2018, a user named KT along with Brendan acquired the domain doxbin.org, which then pretty much revived the community and became the way to go for doxing. But this meant DoxBin wasn't hosted in the dark net, but instead was accessible to anyone with a web browser. I know on paper this doesn't make sense at all, but like, why would the government allow this site to exist on the clearnet? Somehow the site was in some legal gray area during the time, and because of this it remained online. From 2018 and onward, the site grew its community massively, and if you heard DoxBin, you probably heard of it during this time. As of today, DoxBin has 200,000 registered users and 150,000 valid pastes online. After running the site for a good amount of time, KT and some of his staff got together and started a group named Bile. They made a name for themselves for hacking into government portals and doxing multiple disgusting community members. After 2 Vile members were arrested for hacking into the DEA, the group went different ways as KT and Brent decided to sell DoxBin in December 2021 to a 16-year-old named Arian Kurtage. Just in a matter of 3 months, he destroyed any reputation DoxBin had. After a while, Arian sold the site back to the old owners, KT and Brent, for an 80% discount. Arian realized he made a big mistake letting go of that website so easily, so he decided to lock the register to the site and even steal the Discord vanity in an attempt to get on KT's nerves. This failed really badly as they got the vanity back in under an hour. Then Arian attempted to publicly advertise a bounty of $100,000 for KT's docs on the main DoxBin Twitter. 6 hours later, KT got access to the Twitter and started clowning Arian for his very bad OBSEC. The second sale happened just a few months ago in October 23, and this one seems final. The new owner goes by the alias Operator, and like the previous owners, not much is known about him. Now, as scary and hacker this website sounds, most of the stuff that's posted is just kids and gamer kids acting like hackers. This doesn't mean that some people aren't dangerous. Matter of fact, there's plenty of vile things that have sprung up in this community, like one of the most known cults, 764. But these guys used to prey and still do on young vulnerable children. Hundreds of children have been blackmailed into making cut signs, killing animals, and other horrific things. If you are interested in more videos like these, make sure to subscribe. Peace.